All right, so I know you've been wanting to learn more about this spinal decompression therapy,
Mm-hmm.
especially what makes Clanahan Wellness Center different.
Right.
And we got all that material you sent over,
Yeah.
and we are ready to break it all down for you.
Okay.
So get
Appreciate
ready
it.
for some interesting facts and insights.
Yeah,
Why not?
absolutely. So, a lot of people, when they hear spinal decompression, they kind of think of something pretty
Oh,
intense.
for sure.
But it's actually a really carefully controlled stretching process.
Okay.
And what it does is it creates negative pressure in the spine.
Okay, I'll admit that sounds a little more technical than I was expecting.
Oh, yeah.
Can you walk us through how that actually works?
Yeah, so imagine like gently pulling on either end of your spine.
Okay.
So that's essentially what spinal decompression aims to do.
Heck yeah.
By creating that negative pressure, it can actually draw bulging or herniated discs
Wow.
back into place.
So it's not...
It also
Big way.
increases
Oh.
circulation and nutrient flow to the discs,
Gotcha.
which is super important for healing.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So the materials that you sent mentioned Clanahan Wellness Center uses something called the Accustiana system.
Right.
What is that? What's so special about that?
Yeah, so what's really cool is Accuspana isn't just like some generic system.
Right.
It's the same technology
Okay.
that's used by major medical institutions like Harvard and Johns Hopkins and even the Mayo Clinic.
That's really impressive.
Yeah, they all rely on it
Wow.
for its precision and effectiveness.
So it's like having access
Oh, yeah.
to that kind of cutting-edge technology,
Exactly.
but it's right in your backyard.
Exactly.
Okay, and you mentioned precision.
Yeah.
Why is that so key when it comes to the spine?
So the spine is incredibly complex.
Oh, for sure.
It's a whole network of bones and nerves and soft tissues.
Yeah.
And what Accuspana allows practitioners to do is target very specific areas with just the right amount of force.
Okay.
So it minimizes any risks
Makes sense.
and really maximizes the benefits.
I see. And the materials also emphasize Dr. Clanahan's expertise.
Mm-hmm.
So is it really about more than just the machine itself?
Yeah. Think of it this way.
Okay.
You could have the most advanced camera in the world,
Right.
but without a skilled photographer,
Yeah.
you're not going to get those amazing shots.
Right.
And so Dr. Clanahan's deep understanding of spinal mechanics,
Yeah.
combined with his years of experience,
Okay.
allows him to tailor treatments
Okay.
to each individual patient.
So he's combining that
Exactly.
high-tech system with a very personalized approach.
Yes.
But I'm sure our listeners sitting there thinking,
Sure.
okay, this all sounds great, but like, does it actually work?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
And while every case is unique,
Yeah.
there's some pretty compelling evidence
Oh,
in the
sure.
materials that you shared.
What stood out to you?
One story that I thought was really interesting
Yeah.
was about this patient who was struggling with sciatica.
Okay.
And that's that pain that shoots down your leg from a pinched nerve in your lower back.
Right.
And this person went from barely being able to walk
Wow.
to being able to enjoy like all their favorite outdoor activities again.
That's a pretty dramatic improvement.
Right.
Were there other examples like that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Another patient was actually facing surgery for a herniated disc.
Oh, wow.
But because of spinal decompression therapy, they were able to avoid surgery altogether.
That's amazing.
And these aren't just isolated incidents.
You're right.
The research suggests
Right.
that spinal decompression can be really effective for a variety of conditions,
Like what?
from herniated discs and sciatica to
Mhm.
degenerative disc disease,
And what is that exactly?
which is basically just wear and tear on the discs over time.
Gotcha. So if you're experiencing any kind of chronic lower back pain, any of those conditions you just mentioned, would potentially be helped by this type of therapy.
It's definitely worth exploring.
Okay.
But like with any medical treatment,
Yeah.
it's really important to consult with a qualified professional
Of course.
to see if it's right for you.
So I imagine Dr. Clanahan would assess each person individually
Exactly.
to see if this is the right fit.
He would review your medical history,
Okay.
do a physical exam,
Mm-hmm.
and probably order some imaging tests
Right.
to get a clear picture of what's going on.
That makes sense.
And from there, he can determine if spinal decompression therapy is a suitable option for you,
Gotcha.
and then tailor a plan to address like the underlying cause of your pain,
Okay.
not just mask the symptoms.
It sounds like Clanahan Wellness Center is really focused on that whole person approach,
Absolutely.
combining that advanced technology
Yes.
with personalized care.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's something that a lot of people are really looking for these days.
I agree.
So we've gone from this kind of general idea of spinal decompression
Right.
to seeing how it's applied
Mm-hmm.
in this very specific way
Yeah.
at Clanahan Wellness Center.
For sure.
But before we get too deep into the details,
Okay.
I want to bring our listener back into the conversation here.
Yeah.
What stands out to you so far?
Yeah. What questions are popping up in your mind?
It's your deep dive, after all.
Sure.
So let's explore what's most interesting to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
All right. It's really fascinating to me how this technology that, used to only be found in these like major medical centers,
Right.
it's becoming more accessible to people.
Yeah, that is really
Like
quick.
different areas.
Like it's bringing that world-class healthcare to your doorstep.
Exactly.
But, while the AcuSpina system
Mm-hmm.
and Dr. Clanahan's expertise
Yeah.
are certainly impressive, I'm sure our listener might be wondering,
Yeah.
are there other approaches for spinal decompression out there?
Yeah, you're right. It's
Yeah.
always good to consider all the options.
Yeah.
There are other spinal decompression systems available.
Okay.
Some of them use different mechanisms, or they might focus on specific areas of the spine.
Right.
But what really sets AcuSpina apart
Yeah.
is that level of precision and customization.
So even within the world of spinal decompression therapy,
Yeah,
there's a range of technologies and techniques.
exactly. It's not one size fits all.
Gotcha.
And that's why having, a qualified practitioner like Dr. Clanahan
Right.
is so crucial.
Yeah.
He can assess your unique situation and
Yeah.
figure out which approach, if
Yeah.
any, is
Yeah.
the most appropriate for you.
Speaking of suitability, are there
And-
any instances where
Or-
spinal decompression might not be recommended?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
While it can be really beneficial
Yeah.
for a wide range of back problems,
Right.
there are some situations where it might not be the best option.
Like what?
So, for example,
Right.
people with spinal fractures, certain types of infections,
Right.
or those who have had recent spinal surgery,
Right.
they might need to consider alternative treatments.
So it's not like a magic bullet for every single person out there.
Exactly.
It's really important to have,
Yeah,
realistic expectations
for sure.
and understand that individual results may vary.
Absolutely.
Makes sense.
And that's why having that initial consultation with Dr. Clanahan
Right.
is so important. He can help you make an informed decision
Yeah.
based on your specific needs and medical history.
It's all about finding what works best for you
Exactly.
and not just jumping on the latest trend.
I agree.
Now, going back to those patient stories that we were talking about earlier,
Yeah.
I think it's important to highlight that the benefits of spinal decompression therapy
Right.
often go beyond pain relief.
Absolutely.
It's not just about
Yeah.
masking the symptoms.
Restoring function.
Okay.
Improving your overall quality of life.
Right. Like you were talking about with the patient that went from barely being able to walk
Yeah.
to enjoying those outdoor activities again.
Exactly.
That's huge.
Right. That's a testament to how this therapy can really help people reclaim their lives.
It's really about empowering people to live more fully.
Exactly.
And, that brings us to a question for our listener.
Yeah.
If you're dealing with chronic back pain that's limiting your activities, affecting your mood,
Yeah.
impacting your overall well-being,
Yeah.
wouldn't you want to explore every available option?
Of course.
I know I would.
It's about being proactive,
Yeah.
seeking out the best possible care,
Mm-hmm.
even if it means looking beyond,
Yeah.
what's familiar to you.
Right. It's about advocating for your own health
Exactly.
and exploring all the possibilities.
Absolutely.
And sometimes the answers
that's
might be
it.
closer
Yeah.
than you think.
And that's what's so interesting about this whole deep dive.
Yeah.
We're not talking about some abstract concept.
Right.
We're talking about a real tangible solution that's available right here, right now.
And it's not just about this particular clinic or technology.
Yeah, it's about
It's a bigger picture.
the bigger picture, exactly.
It's about this whole shift
Oh, yeah.
towards personalized medicine, the importance of finding a practitioner
Yeah.
who really understands your needs,
Right.
and the potential for these innovative treatments
Okay.
to really transform people's lives.
So as we wrap up this exploration of spinal decompression therapy,
Yeah.
I think we want to leave our listener with
Yeah.
the final thought-provoking question.
So imagine
Yep.
you've been struggling with back pain,
Mhm.
maybe for years.
Yeah,
You've tried various treatments,
right.
but nothing seems to provide lasting relief.
Now imagine there's this non-surgical option backed by leading medical institutions
Yeah.
that could potentially help you regain your mobility,
Right.
reduce your pain,
Yeah.
and reclaim your quality of life.
Okay.
Wouldn't you be curious to learn more?
Wouldn't you want to explore every avenue
Right.
to find a solution that really works for you?
Absolutely.
We've kind of been peeling back the layers of an onion here, haven't we?
Yeah, for sure.
We started with this general idea of spinal decompression,
Right.
and then we dove into the specific technology and expertise at Clanahan Wellness Center.
Yeah.
And now I feel like we're getting to the heart of it.
Yeah.
Like, what could this actually mean for someone who's struggling with chronic back pain?
And you know what's really exciting is that this isn't some like far-off futuristic concept.
Right.
These treatments are available right now.
That's a great point.
And they could potentially offer relief and restore quality of life for people who maybe thought they had exhausted all their options.
Something that stood out to me in these materials was how much they emphasize the patient experience
Oh, yeah.
at Clanahan Wellness Center.
For sure.
It sounds like they really make it a priority to help people feel comfortable and informed
Right.
throughout the entire process.
You know, that's such a crucial aspect
Yeah.
that I think often gets overlooked.
Right.
It can be really daunting
Go ahead.
to have to face any kind of medical treatment,
For sure.
especially when you're dealing with something as complex as the spine.
Right.
But creating that kind of supportive and compassionate environment
Yeah,
can make a world of difference
for sure.
in a patient's overall journey.
So it's not just about the clinical side of things. It's about the human element too.
Absolutely.
Like feeling heard and understood and cared for can have a huge impact
Right.
on your healing and well-being. And it sounds like Dr. Clanahan takes that time to really listen to his patients,
Yeah.
understand their concerns, answer all their questions.
Absolutely.
I think that kind of personalized approach
Yeah.
can really foster trust and confidence.
It's so important when you're about to embark on any kind of treatment plan.
So as we start to wrap up this deep dive here,
Oh, okay.
I think it's safe to say we've covered a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
We went from, just a basic understanding of spinal decompression therapy
Right.
to seeing how it's being applied in this cutting-edge way, combined with expert care
Right.
and this focus on patient well-being.
It's been great.
We've also kind of challenged, I think, some
Yeah.
assumptions out there.
For sure.
Like you were saying, this idea that innovative treatments are
Right.
only available in big cities or prestigious hospitals.
Exactly.
And I think the key takeaway here
Yeah.
is that knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
The more we understand about all of our options, the better equipped we are to advocate for our own health
Right.
and make those informed decisions.
And whether or not spinal decompression therapy is right for you,
Right.
that's a personal decision.
Of course.
And you should talk to a qualified healthcare professional.
For sure.
But, just having access to this information allows you to explore all the possibilities and find the path that really aligns with your needs
Yes, exactly.
and your goals.
So if you're listening to this and you've been dealing with back pain,
Yeah.
maybe feeling like you've hit a wall, don't give up hope.
Absolutely not.
Keep asking questions.
Keep exploring.
Keep advocating for yourself.
Advocate for yourself. You deserve to live a life free from pain and limitations.
Yes, you do.
And who knows?
Right.
The solution you've been looking for
Yeah,
might be just a short drive away.
exactly.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time.